shit is ready. Welcome to the recap show. Toss. It was an interesting week, I guess.
Yeah, this week wasn't so much as exciting.
It's tough though. I mean, we've had some really exciting weeks. So I mean, this one you gotta have a slowdown point. I mean, they do a TV sometimes, so I guess I'll get the NFL this week. We have the 3 games of the week. 3 games. Giants and Bills.
Battle in New York.
Yup.
East versus West.
Tampa and the Saints. Battle of the NFC South.
And Josh Freeman. I hate Josh Freeman.
You let it go.
Alright, what's the next game?
Game of the week.
Yeah, tell them what it is. Tell them who's in it. Tell them who picked up the W.
Detroit against
San Francisco 49ers, baby. Alex Smith going to the Super Bowl. They're going. I'll just go ahead and bring us into our first game of the week. It was the Giants and the Bills. Now, Eli had gone out and he had thrown the ball around and he could have had the most amazing game ever.
292 passing yards.
But unfortunately, Ahmad Bradshaw stole every single score that Eli could ever get. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. All of them went for a yard.
He had 104 yards rushing, but I mean, if you watch most of the game, Eli led them down the field.
And then Bradshaw
just was kind of like, hey, you did all the work. I'm just going to kind of twirl my cane and walk into the end zone.
Right, exactly. And then on the Bills side, Ryan Fitzpatrick goes out and he's playing pretty well too. He only threw 9 incomplete passes, but
2 picks.
And they were both in the 4th.
Yeah.
You're not going to win
That's not
games.
clutch.
Not going to win games that way.
I mean, I know you beat the Patriots in a clutch moment, but you're looking a little topsy-turvy here.
Merrill Hodge tore in him too, but
what's Merrill Hodge about football?
Right, exactly. So let's get into our second game now.
The Steelers, that means everything in
right.
football. The next game of the week we got is the Bucs and the Saints. Interesting game. I was really shocked by this one. Saints blew the game.
Yeah, there were a few surprises in this one.
Josh Freeman threw for over 300 yards with 2 TDs. I mean,
that's a surprise.
That was a surprise. No picks.
And I mean, the other quarterback sort of surprises too. Drew Brees had 3 picks.
Yep.
But Drew Brees also had no ground game. None. 70 yards rushing for the Saints. Mark Ingram was their leading rusher. He had 22 yards. Take a guess who was second.
Pierre Thomas?
Drew Brees.
What?
With 21 rushing yards. Yeah.
How does that happen?
Drew Brees should never be your number 2 rusher, ever.
The only time your quarterback should be the leading rusher is
when
number 2.
It's Mike Vick.
Mike Vick, Terrell Pryor, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not Drew Brees.
No.
So
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I mean you can't blame Drew Brees for the loss. I guess.
But
I mean,
you know what you can blame Drew Brees for throwing a pass. They got caught, and then Graham gets hit, and he rolls
out of bounds and slams into Sean Payton, who blows a bunch of knee ligaments,
tears the MCL,
and breaks his leg.
Broken tibia. I think that's what you pronounce it.
Listen, coaches, does no one watch Penn State football? I know we don't because we hate it. But clearly you see in the news, Joe Paul's getting rolled around on the sideline and busting hips. When are we going to protect the coaches?
I felt awful as a person, but then I realized I'm an awful person. I see Sean Payton go down with a knee injury, and I immediately laugh. Hysterically, for about a good, looking at my watch, an hour, think of Joe Paterno.
I'm just sick of it because no one addresses the real issue. Oh, players get concussions and don't hit vulnerable receivers. What about the coaches? These guys are out there every day with no pads, no helmets, and they're putting their bodies on the line.
Well, you know what? They did show signs of respect to Sean Payton. They're like, what are we going to do, coach? What are we going to do?
He's like, put me back in the game, boys.
Yeah. And what the boys did, they opened a lane for him to look from at the bench. They all surrounded the bench on the outside.
Sean Moses Payton parks the gold seed.
He parks the gold seed. He was like, yes. run it up the field with my commandments of plays.
And then they're like, Coach, just go ahead and get up in the booth.
Yeah.
So they set him up there.
Well, apparently he didn't have a good view from that booth because they blew the game.
They lost. Right. So then that leads us into our final game of the week. We always save our biggest game of the week for last. I mean, unfortunately, no one in this game really did anything spectacular, so no one in this one's our player of the week.
No.
But our player of the week was...
It was a first for that,
he
actually.
He was in one of our other games. But this one, the 49ers and the Lions... If you guys watched, you know I put a sad face when I predicted the Lions were going to win. We both picked the Lions. I mean, I didn't want them to win, and thank God they didn't.
49ers dug a hole, and they struck gold in this game.
And the Lions just rolled right into this hole and died.
And said, bury me. It was a great game, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, the 49ers take the lead on the fourth quarter. The Lions have a chance. And then all of a sudden, Matt Stafford was like, hey, I don't think I care.
Didn't really try.
You can just see his face. And they're like, all right, let's do a play. Hike. Throw a ball for 5 yards. You need 80 to get up the field to score a touchdown, so you throw a 5-yard pass.
They would have never been in this situation had Stafford got a little help from the ground game. Once again, a great passing quarterback has no ground game, and you pick up a loss. 66 yards for the Lions on the ground. I mean, that's not going to help. But, I mean, our boy Megatron, he did get some stuff done.
113 yards with 7 catches. But here's the problem out of all of that. 0 touchdowns.
Zero touchdowns.
I think it might be the first game all season with him out of a touchdown.
Right. And like you mentioned, I mean, Alex Smith wasn't great, but he had the touchdown with less than 2 minutes to go. I mean, gave him the lead and put him in the driver's seat. So, what happened? What happened to the Lions? Did they get cocky?
Frank Gore turned the game into a Gore fest with 141 rushing yards.
He happened to the Lions.
He averaged 9 yards a carry with a touchdown.
I mean, all these exciting things happened in the game. Alex Smith throwing a late touchdown, clutch. I mean, that excites me, but you wouldn't know that was the story.
No.
The Niners beating the Lions was not the story. It was something after.
It was exciting, all right. It was an excitement from Harbaugh. He was pumped. He was about to strip naked on the field and
just run.
Yeah! And he started sprinting everywhere.
And the coaches meet in the middle of the field every game since the dawn of time to shake hands. Harbaugh comes out, punches him in the face,
take my hand,
smacks his ass, and then runs away.
And winks at him.
And then runs away. They chase him down.
Schwartz didn't like that.
No, he did not like that.
It's bad. It's disrespectful.
He chases him. Well, he didn't. He kind of stood there and was like, hey, wait a minute. I think I might be pissed about that. Turns and just bolts for Harbaugh.
And he's
the 49ers PR man swings around, cuts in the middle, body slams Schwartz, and then the whole thing just separates. And Harbaugh smiling ear to ear because he just beat the undefeated Lions.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, Harbaugh needs to act more professional. This team was not supposed to be where it's at.
Exactly.
The Lions are undefeated. I mean, this was an underdog story.
Harbaugh is a rookie coach. He is so excited to be in the NFL and so excited to have his system working.
He was told that he was playing for Andrew Luck because he picked Alex Smith.
Right.
Alex Smith is looking solid.
Yeah.
Everyone thought he was nuts. Why are the 49ers? They're awful. He's only doing it so he can pick a bad team and go get Andrew Luck and have his boy. No.
And they could just live happily ever after in California.
He's playing for wins. He's playing for a title. He don't care about Luck.
And
Luck was back in college. This is the NFL. Yeah. This is a whole new game.
And this whole handshake thing and all this press conferences and, oh, I'm sorry I shook his hand too hard and Schwartz, oh, well, we shouldn't have acted like this. No. This is Jim Harbaugh putting his mark on the NFL.
I'm here. And I'm here to stay.
And I'm here to win.
Pete Carroll came here and lost, and that was here to stay too.
Yeah, Pete Carroll's just here for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's here to win, and win big.
Let's let Pete Carroll dig.
So, we're going to go ahead, I guess, and do our player of the week now.
Player of the week came back at the Giants game against the Bills. We brought up that Fitzpatrick had 2 big interceptions, all
Both
from
by
one
the same
player.
guy. Both by the same guy.
Corey Webster, cornerback from the New York Giants. 2 interceptions. One came in the 4th quarter. That interception actually led to the go-ahead winning field goal for the New York
broke the
Giants
tie.
to tip the win.
It was 24-24. Webster gets the pick. Giants go down. Lawrence every times. Field goal
Every
in.
time.
So, I mean, and Stevie Johnson did score a touchdown against Webster, but Webster, when
like
Fitzpatrick rarely places a ball bad when it's to Stevie Johnson.
Yeah,
He
it's
did.
true.
He did this game, and Webster took advantage, and that's why he's Player of the Week. I mean, we didn't. There was nobody really else that had blown us away or really game changing, you know.
Aaron Rodgers blew me away.
But Aaron Rodgers puts up those numbers every game, and he was playing a
Against
worthless team. You know,
that was
they're
kind of
worthless.
disrespectful.
They're just worthless.
Sam Bradford has a lot of worth.
They're worthless. So, Webster's our Player of the Week. Hopefully, we can find a funny picture for you at the end of our thing.
I hope it's a fun.
We got some good ideas, but we're gonna go ahead and do our picks here coming up yet, and we still got a hot button to do yet,
Hot button.
and a toss up to do.
We're a big
We got so much going on.
It's
so
an exciting weekend. Like, I mean, the games were exciting. It's the drama around the league that's
It's
exciting.
toss that's exciting this week.
It is toss. It is
So
toss.
stick around. Picks are coming up.
Yep.